Solicitor to Abuja residents and voters has warned that if Nigeria proceed to install Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President and Commander-in-Chief, under the present circumstances, Nigeria would be setting democracy up for overthrow. Nwachukwu, in a press statement on behalf of his client titled "Before You Overthrow the Constitution and Democracy," said Section 134(2)(b) states that the candidate or a candidate for the office of president at an election involving two or more candidates is deemed duly elected where the candidate obtains the highest votes at the election and at least 25% of the votes in each of two-thirds of all the states and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Where no candidate meets this requirement, there should be a second election between the candidate with the highest votes and one out of the remainder who has a majority of the votes in the highest number of states. Where the requirement of spread is still not met, there should be a third election between the two, which should be decided on a simple majority of votes. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not obtain the required 25% of the votes in Abuja, but insists on being sworn in as president and commander-in-chief. Okay, I think I now understand it better. This is the same way this Kadira Ahmed explained it, that as it is now, there's supposed to be a rerun between Tinubu and Atiku. If none of them still get 25% in that particular place, there's supposed to be a rerun. Then after the third one, then the majority of the vote will now count. That is how it ought to be. But everybody, you see, one day now, all of them go come to say, now so it's supposed to be. Now so they go see confess, oh. But now all of them, they go ground, say lie, forget it. You know go do, you know go be, you know go do. And that is it. So what they are trying to say is that it's, it is preparation for overthrow. Yes, it is whatever. It's like people have been, this whole thing has been going back and forth. Section 1 of 2 of the Constitution prohibits anyone or group from taking control of the government of the Federation or any part therefore contrary to the provisions of the Constitution. It is the responsibility of all Nigerians, including the military, to safeguard the Constitution. Section 14(2)(a) of the Constitution expressly declares that the people are the true sovereign and the ultimate authority in the land, from whom the government derives the authority to govern through the Constitution. The Constitution has therefore authorized each and every Nigerian in whatever position that he finds himself and with whatever means at the disposal to safeguard the Constitution by resisting any would-be impostor from power. The primary allegiance of our soldiers is to the Constitution, which is also the source of their own authority and standing as officers of the nation. They cannot be expected to give allegiance to anyone that is installed president contrary to the Constitution. The upshot is that if we proceed to install Tinubu president and commander-in-chief under the present circumstances, we would be setting democracy up for overthrow. The intervention ostensibly to restore the authority of the Constitution and democracy might mean that this country might not experience democracy again for a long time. We have the experience of late RTHR0W and the interim national government that he headed that was sacked by a Lagos High Court for lack of constitutional foundation for guidance, and certainly regarding the point that every high court in this country is empowered to interpret the Constitution and may therefore sack Tinubu if installed with a simple declaration that will set the stage for extra constitutional action that would be justified with the excuse of restoring the authority of the Constitution. It will be the death of democracy in the country. So all of these things have been going on. The Presidential Petition Tribunal has presently engaged as no constitutional basis. It is only when there is a valid declaration of a winner of the election that its jurisdiction can be invoked. The grounds for invoking it invoking it under section 134 of the Electoral Act. And number 1, non-qualification of the winner, be invalidity of the election, and failure of the declared winner to obtain majority of the votes. The issue of failure to secure 25% of the votes in 2/3 of all the states and the FCC is not one of the conditions. It is left out because it is a constitutional issue that should be resolved before the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal is constituted. The Constitution demands a second election at the present time unless any petitioner before the PEPT can satisfy it that he nullified or fulfilled the requirements of section 134 the Constitution and should have been declared winner. Conclusion: we call on the international community not to encourage the overthrow of democracy and the possible institution of anarchy in the Nigeria with their support for the unconstitutional installation of Tinubu as the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria on the 29th of May 2023. Solicitor Solicitors of Abuja residents and voters, G0Vong Esquire. These are the reasons why I strongly believe that all obedience are not serious. You didn't have the power. This lawyer self may be out of his mind. Well said. Too late. This lawyer is just looking for some cheap publicity. With your submission, none of them qualify. APC has largest number of votes. If I say here, this woman explained it, but a lot of people just fear say, they go do what they want to do, make it not be like saying I me can't say I me this and that. All of them know because somebody has even explained this, but they say no, lie. So let us continue. Let them continue to do what they are doing. The end will justify the means. Yeah.